Ryan, what do you think about this turnout, man?
Yeah, it was a great day. A lot of great recruits and families. Good to see the families of the players here as well, and then great to see the students out here. It's great to have Roosters out here to provide food for them, but good for them just to see them live and in color. An opportunity like today, during the games, they're up in the stands a little bit further away. They get to kind of see how it goes. Yeah. So great to see the students out here.
Is there one thing that just jumps out at you in your mind right now as you're walking off, just watching the football part?
I think we're playing hard. I think guys are working at it. We certainly have some guys who are missing on both sides of the ball, but overall, I thought the defense brought it today. I thought they played really well. We pretty much dominated today's win or loser. But there's a lot of pieces that come with it. We try a couple situations coming out, third down, get the ball down in the red zone. So that was good to get that. We'll get on film and keep growing. But a lot of the young guys are really grinding, stacking days, getting better. But I thought it was really good job by the defense today, in particular the defensive line, a bunch of sacks.
Right. 2 times that we've seen the defensive line the last 2 practices, they had really good days. How are you gauging that in the spring when the offensive line might be trying to learn blocking schemes and whatnot?
Yeah, it's all part of the process. But at the end of the day, it's a win or loser day. You either win or you lose, and that's how you evaluate it on a daily basis. Now we all know that there's a process to getting to August, and then from August getting to the season. But we evaluate it on a week-to-week basis. Did you get better? Did you get worse? We grade every practice and figure out where guys are at. Did they grade a champion or not?
Ryan, we got 15 minutes of legal time. What impressed you most about him, and how far along is he?
Well, there's a lot to be impressed with Carnell, but I think the first thing is just his maturity when he came here. But right from the jump, we do meetings where we kind of have everybody in the building go through each guy and to a person. Just the feedback we're getting from academics, from nutritionists, from strength and conditioning, position coaches, player development. Everyone has such great things to say about Carnell off the field. It translates on the field as well. He's prepared. He takes care of his business and very, very mature. That's off the field. On the field, making a lot of plays. Has to pick up a lot of offense. For a young player, he's got a pretty mature route tree. Does a nice job on the line of scrimmage. Catches the ball strong, makes plays. All really encouraging signs.
You obviously have a deep receiving core. How much of an impact did he make as a freshman?
We'll see. But if he keeps stacking these days, he's going to get better. And he's here to play.
Ryan, I don't know how long that would. It just happened, but when somebody goes down like Jihad did, I know it's spring ball, you've got a long way to go. Yep. What goes through a coach's mind? Who's next here? How do we get through a practice? Like something unexpected like that?
Yeah, it's never good. The first thing you ask is, how stable is that knee? We got great, good information back. We'll have to get it evaluated, but you hold your breath, because you just don't know how stable that knee. Anytime you're dealing with the knee, felt like it was. We'll get it evaluated for sure. Make sure that we cross every T on this thing and dot every I. But yeah, you hold your breath in moments like this, and it's one of those things. That's why we only now that play was in 7-on-7, so we try to have as many controlled situations as possible. But we also got to play the game, so it's that back and forth we go to. But Jihad's had a really good spring, and hopefully we can get him back here soon.
It's felt like Cam has had a good spring in that spot too. You noticed Martinez helping their nickel more. Looks like he's comfortable. I don't know how you take it.
Yeah, I think he is. Here's somebody who played quarterback in high school and played offense and learning to play the position. And now he's really starting to come around. I think he's learning the defense. He's playing with more confidence, like you said. And so I think we'll try to get an idea as we get through the end of the spring, kind of the body of work. But we've seen some good things out of him.
Kenyatta Jackson seems to have flashed at least the 2 times we've gotten to watch extended screen. What's your impression of him?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think when you're talking about D-line, the first thing is, can you flash? Can you make plays? I think you can check that box with Kenyatta. He does, and then it becomes the consistency. And I know he's building on that, but the work he put in last year, the work he's putting in this spring is going to pay off. He's got a lot of talent, and we're going to need him to step up and be a contributor this season.
We've seen anything about Zen not being out here today, and how that might impact the right tackle competition.
Yeah, we don't see that being a long-term issue, so hope to get him out here again before the end of spring.
Ryan, you mentioned the importance of getting consistency inside from the start of the practice to the end. It looked like Mike, Tyleek, and Ty all flashed from start to finish. Just going to talk about their growth in that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think when you look at the inside guys between Ty, between Tyleek, Mike, Jaden, even some of the younger guys like Hero, they're stacking days and they're putting in, a lot of plays back to back to back, and so that's part playing in the D-line. It's one thing just to go in there for a series and flash, like we just talked about. It's another thing to grind and do the dirty work. You're starting to see that out of that group. And they're getting calloused, and I think that's going to really pay dividends down the road.
What do you think of the day of the quarterback, Sam?
Hard to tell. Some things that when you take a sack, was somebody open? You have to look at it on film. It's hard. That's why I have that iPad out there to try to see, can I get upset or not? Because what you don't want to do is throw into a crowd when there's nobody open. We are down some receivers, but then there's times where guys are open and they have to let it go. And so if they're holding on to it too long, that's a mistake. So, it wasn't ideal. Anytime the offense doesn't win, it's going to be the quarterback's responsibility to lead the team down the field. But we'll have to look at the film and see how it was.
Yeah, Delton Hayden and Chip Trainum both seem to have a good day today. Do you agree? I mean,
they're out here every day. They're practicing, they're grinding, and they're guys that you can count on. And you can see that today. Chip took a lot of reps right there and finished off the drive. And so he's put in a great offseason, and he's healthy again, and that's great. So, but he and Dallin ran really hard today. I thought it was good.
It looked like Trayvon's progressing some individual stuff early on.
Man, it was great to see. Great to see Trey out there in individual drills today. Great to see him moving around again. You can start to see that energy and that look in his eye. He's been dying to get out here, so that was a great sign today to see him out there in individual drills.
What's your general take on the quarterback situation right now?
Yeah, I think it's a day-to-day process. They're growing. They're learning. Every time you're out there with the first team, it's different than when you're a backup. And there are good days, there are not so good days. And the whole thing is, can you learn from your failures? When you do well, it's great, but we're all going to fail. And that's the thing when you look at the elite quarterbacks, whether it's in the NFL or in college, they learn from their mistakes quickly. They don't make the same mistake twice. And so, these guys are making mistakes just like any quarterback would. How quickly can they learn from those mistakes and grow? It's very hard to tell sometimes in a practice like this. It's a little chaotic and everything like that. So, and they're also not live. But it's all about decision making and moving the team down the field. We'll keep evaluating it. I think there's been some good things, but a lot to grow from.
You talked about before the spring how Gilly, you'd like to maybe have an idea of who it is in the spring. Does that still seem like it's a feasible thing?
I hope so. I'd like to see one of the two really step out. I don't think we've seen that yet, but it'd be nice to see kind of one of them kind of separate from the other. But that takes a few practices in a row of consistent play.
Ryan, when we've been in here, we know that they're getting both opportunities with the ones and twos, and that rotation has continued. Is there a part of you is there a temptation? It's like, ooh, I think this guy's playing well today. I'd like to see him do more with the ones. Do you have to fight against that, or is it easy for you to say, this is our plan, we're going throughout spring this way?
Yeah, I think you have to stay consistent with that because when you take the body of work as a whole, then you can kind of, it's comparable. When you start to lean one way or other, then it's not really fair on one side or the other. So we'll keep doing that. There's some days though out of practice where we'll give one, a bunch of reps with the ones, and it kind of offsets the next day. But there's a significant drop off with the twos. So you want to make sure you can figure that out. And over the years, we've done the same thing with other quarterback battles. I remember when CJ would be with the twos, he would still move the team down the field. And so that's something that you just look for in a quarterback.
Man, are you starting to see the things that you want to see from the entire day being there? Are you seeing that translate to the entire building, seeing guys just be competitive at all times?
Yeah. I think I saw an article by one of our DBs in one of the media days when the DBs were out here. And he was just talking about how much this whole spring and how so much of our program is about competing. And it's about winning and losing every day. And that's what we want to create. And that's what a day like today is all about.
And you got to I don't want to put words in your mouth. You got to like the way the defense is going about things. Like you said, a head coach, you got to feel good one day when playing bad the next.
Right.
I mean, what do you think about just the esprit de corps of this defense?
Yeah, I think it's growing. I think you're seeing confidence when you're not doing something for the first time. Then you can figure out how you do it, not what to do. Last year it was what do you do? Now it's how to do it. I also think our coaches have a better feel for our personnel. Made some changes. I think we still need to tweak some things, but our really good players have to play really good. I mean, that's how it goes. When you're a great defense, your great players make great plays. They're not just out there. And not only do they make great plays, but they make them consistently. And that's the sign of a good defense. So they're building on that, but there's a lot of momentum on that side of the ball.
Ryan, you guys had Marvin in the slot. I know you said you were moving him around a little bit. Just what do you like about those matchups inside?
Boy, it's a whole different deal with him inside, and they have to, on defense, decide how they want to double him. It also helps with his route tree. and it's something that happens. You know, like with Jackson, a lot of the NFL personnel would ask, how's he going to do on the outside? When Chris was coming out, you know, do you have any plays with him in the slot? So it's a good thing to help him in his progression and his development. That's something we want to do, but it also is something for the defense to consider. So we'll keep working on that, and we just want to keep building up this route tree.
Ryan, with the development,
last question here, guys.
Development of Joe and G, is that more crucial right now, considering where you are with the offensive line, or is that not?
Yeah, I don't know if it has as much to do with the offensive line, but it's critical. Yeah, we need to continually develop that room. 12 personnel has been very, very important to us, and it has to continue to be moving forward. So finding, you know, 3 tight ends in that room that we feel confident putting in a game is something that we really got to do a great job with. I think, you know, Keenan's doing a good job of building the power of the unit in that room, and I think those guys are putting in days. They're out here every day, and they're grinding, they're getting better. You can feel that, but that'll be very important to the success of the offense.
Great. Coach, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, man.